Alpo, the man, the myth, the legend. Let's go. The name Alberto Alpo Martinez tends to elicit strong reactions. He's been celebrated as a street legend of epic proportions, an iconic figure out of hip-hop mythology, who was played by the rapper Cameron in the movie Paid in Full. At the same time, Alpo was often reviled as a snitch, a rat of the highest order who allegedly betrayed the street code to save himself, tarnishing his legacy in the chronicles of gangster lore. One thing is for sure though, word of Alpo's apparent release from a little-known federal prison witness protection program, they're called cheese factories on the inside, is resonating on the street. Don Diva magazine, probably the longest-running periodical devoted to the drug underworld and street life in New York City and beyond, reported that Alpo was released on its website last week. Alpo was known as a trendsetter in crack-era Harlem, transporting hundreds of kilos of cocaine into Washington, D.C., while flaunting his wealth and flamboyant lifestyle with cars, clothes, and jewelry. But when he killed his best friend and business partner, Rich Porter, another Harlem drug dealer who's been immortalized in hip-hop lore, Alpo's rep took a serious blow. And by the way, I heard that's why he left New York and went to D.C. because of that. They say he was getting death threats, said a lot of pressure was on him. He had to get out of that. When Alpo went on to testify against the man believed to be his former When Alpo went on to testify against the man believed to be his former Washington, D.C. enforcer in open court, apparently to spare himself a life sentence, he was branded a traitor, a snitch. To get the real deal on this infamous figure, Vice turned to another former Harlem drug dealer, Kevin Childs. Childs served over a decade in the feds for his own drug organization founded Don Diva from the Cell Block, and was a contemporary of Alpo's back in the 80s. Back then, the crack epidemic was in full swing, and young hustlers like Alpo, Rich Porter, AZ, and Kevin Childs were making a name for themselves by perpetuating the lifestyle and fashions that rappers would go on to emulate. Here's what he had to say. Question from Vice. Now that we think he's out of prison, do you suspect Alpo would come back to New York, Harlem even? Kevin Childs responds, I am most certain that Alpo won't come back to New York. He knows he has a bullseye on him. That situation with Rich left Harlem scarred, and people have strong feelings about it, and he admitted to playing a part in the death of another with a well-liked figure, Domicio Benson from Brooklyn. I could see a younger dude on the come up try to make a name for themselves by taking Alpo out. They would be instantly infamous. I'm sure these are things he should be considering. Pull Your Pants Up Radio got in contact with Alpo to get his reply. When I left Harlem, I was the king. And now that I've returned, I'm still the king. I ain't running, I ain't ducking, and I ain't dodging nobody. Now that I think about it, I should run for mayor of Harlem, 'cause Harlem loves me.